caving is a very big sport in Europe, but in India, it's starting. Right now, there are only few Indians who are doing caving. You never know what you're going to face. There's this small passage in a cave called Thin Man Passage. So everyone in my group always called me, "Hey, Adwait, that passage is meant for you. You should go into that passage." When I did much of caving, I realized that darkness is my strength. Now I can sit in the cave for hours if the battery runs out.
Hi, welcome to Bifocal Naturalist. Our guest today is Adwait Keole. Adwait is a cave explorer. He tests both his skills and stamina, climbing down the vertical caves of Meghalaya. Caving requires a lot of endurance, both physical and mental strength. Being in a cave all alone, you cannot see anyone, you can't hear anything. You can get feelings of claustrophobia in there. So it requires a lot of endurance and a lot of training. And Adwait does caving, I think for the last 6 years, he's into this adventure sport. He also takes people on adventure trips with his friend Shardul Bajikar. And caving, involves not just climbing, but also crawling and squeezing and wriggling through the narrow passages of the caves. There are over 2,000 caves in Meghalaya, in northeast of India, which are very lush forests. And many of these are wild and uncharted caves. And Adwait has gone down into these places which no human has set foot before. Welcome, Adwait. How are you?
Yes, so I am Adwait, and as Madam said, that I am a cave explorer. I explore caves in Meghalaya. So caving is, I think it's not about physical strength. Madam explained that you need physical strength. Definitely, you need physical strength, but that physical strength, I think everyone got that much of physical strength to do caving, but the caving is the only adventure sport. I think so. It needs more mental strength than the physical one.
I would like to know, how did you get into caving? I mean, what drew you to caving?
So 6 7 years back, my friend, my mentor, my guide, Mr. Shardul Bajikar, sent me to this Meghalaya guided caving expedition for the first time, and there I realized that how scared I am of darkness, or how scared I am of water. So that was the first time I went caving, and I decided that I will never go in this cave again. But in that expedition, I went into different caves, and I realized that if I come again, if I do exploring in the cave, I might conquer my biggest fear, that is water and darkness. Um, After a while, when I did much of caving, I realized that darkness is my strength. Now I am not scared of darkness. I can sit in the darkness when the lights goes out. Like if the battery runs out or if something happens, we used to switch off the torches and sit in the cave for hours without anything. And for human, it is very difficult to sit with open eyes and darkness. Like your eyes are open and you cannot see anything. Your brain starts to play with your imagination. So it is, the cave darkness is very horrific. It's scary at times, but I realize that I can sit in caves with my torch off for hours, and it's It's the Shardul's plan that I went into caving. So that's how it started. Mm.
I think Shardul is a great motivator. So, what are the different types of caves, which you have
Uh,
gone exploring?
so when you look at the geology, there are two different type of cave we get in India. One is sandstone cave and one is limestone cave. And if you're talking about the structure of cave or the entrance of the cave, there
Yes.
are two different type of entrance in the cave. One is a vertical cave, which is a shaft on the ground. That like there is one small hole on the ground you can see, and then that hole goes all the way to the bottom. And there is a horizontal cave, which everybody is imagining when I say cave. What you imagining is the cave which is called horizontal cave. It's a passage on the mountainside or on the high ground side. There is a entrance like a gate type entrance that is horizontal caves. And those both caves are carved in Meghalaya. Those both cave are carved by water only.
So, there are river in both of them, both types of cave.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
They are called solution caves.
Acha, solution. What
Uh,
solution?
Yes, so it's what happens is when the rain falls, it collects some of carbon dioxide from atmosphere, and collect more and more carbon dioxide as it comes down. Then it seeps into water, and more carbon dioxide get mixed with water, and it becomes carbolic acid. And that carbolic acid dilutes the calcite or calcium carbonate in the ground, in the rocks, and it wash away. So that washing away, it's a solution that washes away. That's how the caves are formed in Meghalaya. Like limestone cave are formed like that. That's why they are called solution caves.
Okay, that's interesting. I was in Philippines, a couple of months ago, and I went to a cave, which had an underground river. And that was
Mhm.
a world, UNESCO heritage site. Are there similar caves in Meghalaya too?
Yes, if you are saying a World UNESCO Heritage Site aspect, yes, there is one cave. Its name is Mosmai, and that cave is World Heritage Site because right now, in what age we are living, it's called Meghalayan age, because there is one important link was missing in the history, that we never know what happened to Egypt and Mesopotamia and Mohenjo-daro, the Indus Valley civilization. We don't know what happened, and we got one information that 4,200 years ago, there was no rain for at least 2,200 years.
Mhm.
Uh, it's not the exact reason why these civilization got disrupted, but this can be a reason. That is what scientists think. So for 200 years there was no rain, so all the rain-fed rivers dried up, and the civilization which are living next to rain-fed rivers uh, had to move to river which are glacier fed. For example, Ganga.
Mhm.
So they might shift it from Indus. So Indus Valley civilization people might shift it to Ganga is what we think nowadays. But that 200 years of drought, we realized from Meghalaya, that same cave what we are talking about, it's called Mosmai. So there was this stalactite which is cut, and the cross section was scientifically studied, and then we got to know this. That's why this age what we are living in is called Meghalayan age.
That's very interesting. It's a very wonderful geological clue.
Yes.
Advait, you are, more into vertical caving. Can you tell us what are the
Yes.
challenges of a vertical caving?
So what happened is there are many caves. So what happened is one cave when you decide to explore one cave, it's very difficult to survey the whole cave in a day. The cave have branches, and the branches got more branches and more branches. so you get lost sometimes. So once you are in one cave, you have to do that cave until you reach a point where you cannot explore more or you cannot survey further. So what happened is there are few caves which are very long, but underneath they are very long, but they are all connected with the vertical entrances. So we have to go down in a vertical cave. That's why so right now where we are surveying, this complete region is of vertical caves only. There are only vertical caves, very few horizontal caves, and those are also maximum surveyed. So we are doing this vertical cave thing right now. Vertical cave possesses completely different challenges in front of a caver. First of all, you need to know the devices what you are using. You should be very good with your rope work. You should be very good with your rebelaying, the switching from one gear to another rope side. So you need to be very focused on the rope because when you're close to rope, your torch, mm, like it is not working properly or it is just blurring the vision because the light focus is very much on it's very close to your eyes. So maximum times caver when they go down with their torches off so that they can comfortably go down. So you should be very hands on to your gear so that you can change the gears in the darkness also.
Yeah, we would like you to demonstrate, some knot making and some of the gears. When I was in studying in school, I used to be part of the Girl Guides. This is in St. Anthony's High School in Chembur, Mumbai, and we were taught how to make knots. So it's really fascinating. We would like to know more from you about knot making and the gadgets which you use.
In caving, we don't use many knots. Anyways, wherever you learn, I know many knots, but there are very few knots which we use in everyday life. Everyone knows, like there is one knot which is very common. It's called figure of eight. So
Yes.
that knot looks like a eight. English eight number. That's why it's called figure of eight. It's a very strong knot. You just hang on to this loop, and then you can use the rope, whatever tail you are using. You can use that knot. But this knot is we avoid to use this knot because it get tight very easily, and then once this knot is wet and it get dipped into mud, it's very difficult to untie the knot. So there are few knots which are easy to untie. So one of the knot is called we called it as a Mickey Mouse face knot. So basically it's a Spanish bowline. I'll just tie it for you. It's a bit complicated knot,
Put
but
your
it's
hands a
a
little higher. So we can see
yes.
the
So
rope. Yeah.
it just twists and turns with the knot. So this is bunny ears or Mickey Mouse face knot. So it's
Yes.
look like this.
Yes.
This knot is it's very tight knot, but it's very easy to open the knot because of the so once you tight the knot, it does not go all the way to the loops, and these two loops are used to anchor yourself or anchor your complete rope. And no matter how tight you do this knot, it will automatically open. You just have to push those ear down the head of a bunny, and the knot is open.
But why do you need
So the
to open the knot?
because you cannot keep the rope in the cave. So once you are out of the cave, you tend to take out your ropes and whatever gear you've got. You just take it out. So I always say that when you go to a vertical cave, when you rig the cave, the rigging is a process how we go down. We just have a wall and then we drill and put an anchor on that rig, and then we hook ourselves and go all the way to the bottom. So when you're going to vertical cave, which is unexplored, or you're the first one to land on the ground of that cave, you feel like a Neil Armstrong. Like you're the first human ever step on that cave ground. And when you come up, if you are the last one, you know that once you disconnect the rope from anchors, there is no human will ever enter in this cave, except some scientists and some explorer will might go in that cave, but at least not the everyone will, like not everyone tourist or not every person can go in that cave. It's very difficult to enter those caves.
Advait, I have a question. Are all the cave explorers lightly built like you, or they're people, heavily built like me?
No, there are like different builds. So one of my mentor, his name is Vijay Chikara. He's a naval officer. He's retired naval officer.
Mhm.
Um, he is very tall, and his build is definitely not like me. He is a proper navy person with proper build, but still he goes in the cave and so last time he was complaining that Adwait, when I'm climbing up, I'm feeling I'm a little bit tired, and this never happened. I never felt tired. I never felt tired, and he was like complaining throughout the expedition, but he never said anything. He's just saying that I'm tired and I'm tired. When he went back, he did some checkup and he found out that there is a blockage in his heart, and he was doing caving. So it's like huge respect for that man. He did caving with a blockage in his heart. Then he went back. So he found out right before the last year expedition. This blockage he got last year, and he found out right before last year's expedition. So he could not join last year expedition. And this year he's so excited. He's like, Advait, we are going to do this. We are going to do that. So he's a brave man. And
Tribute to
so
our
what happened?
defense forces, for enduring so much difficulty and, still coming out as champions. I think you cave explorers and our defense personnel, salutes to all of you. Can you show us your different gadgets?
Yes, I'll show you different gadgets. So this is our it's called hand ascender or hand jammer. So you just hold this device with your right hand, this side facing your side, and then there is this passage which goes through the bottom, and there are some tooth. If you can see the tooth here,
Yeah.
these tooth will like this. There is only one tooth right now, but there are multiple teeth to this device. So you pass the rope on and you just uh, flip it, switch it on. This device is on now, so it can go up. So if you hold the rope from beneath, it will go up, but it will not gonna come down. So
Okay.
you push it up, hang to this device, then push yourself up, then again push up, then hang to this device. So it's called hand jammer. You just jam the rope and you can then climb up. Same as this, there is one more device called chest ascender or chest roll. So it's works the same, just it is not in the hand. It's on your like chest or maybe near your belly button. And this also do the same thing. You just take out the lock, fix your rope to this, anchor yourself, and then just flip it on. Once it is on, then it cannot go down. It has to come up only. It cannot go down. So you just go up, and if once you're tight, it cannot go down. So these devices we use to climb up on the this rope which is tied from the top, and that complete technique is called single rope technique. It's climbing up on the same rope and going on the down also on the same rope.
So climbing up, is it far more difficult than coming down?
Yes, of course. While climbing down, gravity helps you a lot. Like you're not doing anything, you're just changing from one rope to another rope. But while climbing up, you have to work against the gravity. So yes, climbing up is very difficult.
Mhm. So about the time, like climbing down, how much time does it take vis-a-vis the time to climb up?
Oh, it's like 10 times.
10 times. Oh,
Yes,
that's
more
incredibly
than 10
tough.
times. You go down like if it's 100-meter cave and there is no rebelay on the way. You might go down in what, 9, hardly 15 seconds or 20 seconds. But for 100 meters to climb up, you might take at least 20-25 minutes.
Okay, okay. I mean, that's a large difference. I think large difference in the magnitude. Yeah. I would like to,
Yes.
were you part of any expeditions, cave exploring, where a lot of historical, geological, and ecological aspects were discovered or surveyed?
Yes. So it's not about one time. It's always we got something new in the cave, because
Yeah.
these cave are never been explored on this magnitude. It's a huge scale we are surveying the cave right now. And before we entered the cave systems, uh, the European had all the knowledge, but they only surveyed the cave. They never checked into this biological aspect and ecological aspect.
So I also want to know, what is the future trend of cave exploring both in India and across the world?
So right now, when I am going on an expedition of a caving expedition, this is only one of the kind, like one of its own kind. There are all Europeans, and so this is international expedition, and I don't know if people keep doing this in India somewhere. I don't know. This is the only expedition I know of in a caving world. So for them, they go on a different locations. Some goes to Galapagos, they go to Chile, to Mexico, to Iran to do caving. They do caving all across the world. For me, I do only caving in Meghalaya. Um, so yes, caving is a very big sport in Europe, but in India, it's starting. Mm, right now, there are only few Indians who are doing caving. One of them is Brian Carpentelli. He's doing caving from last 30 years maybe.
Okay.
And his efforts were recognized by our honorable PM, Mr. Narendra Modi. He went to meet him also. Then Modi ji also mentioned him on Man Ki Baat. So he started caving like 30 years back with his son, and his son and he still doing caving together. His age is around, he's 70 plus right now,
Really?
but yes, my all the caving fellows are like that only. Everyone is 60 plus.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
That's
so my mentor
interesting.
is from Ireland.
Uh-huh.
Uh, the person I go caving with like every time, his name is Robin Sheen. He's from Ireland and he is around 72, and he's still fit as I think 20 years, 25-year guy. He's so fast in rigging, he's so fast in climbing up, and you're tired and he's like, no, otherwise we want to do this cave today, we need to survey this. And I was like, Robin, can we go home? No, we'll finish this cave and then we'll go.
I think he'll be a
So
great role model for people, for youngsters, who reach 50s and they say, oh, we are aging, we are not able to walk, we are not able to climb. I think it is
so
how you maintain yourself. I think you're
you
right,
should meet
your
my team.
discipline.
My team is completely filled with gray hair oldies, and they will be like, Adwait, you are too old. I was like, okay. When I started caving, I was the youngest of all.
Mhm.
But now there is one photographer, videographer, documentary maker. She joined. She's way younger than me. She's the youngest now.
Mhm.
Uh, Her name is Ritika. She's from Gujarat.
Mhm.
She is the youngest in the caving team right now.
Are there many women in
And
this field? Are there many women?
yeah, there are few women. They're all from Europe. From India, only Brian sir's daughter and Ritika join the caving.
So, any message you have for the young people?
Yes, caving is a very amazing sport. It's a very beautiful adventure activity. You never know. So for mountaineers, you know that once you are on the top of mountain, I'm not saying anything to mountains because I'm a hardcore mountain fan. But we know that once you are at the top of mountain, you are going to see the world under the clouds, or you'll see some few peaks which are below you when you climb very high mountains. There you can see few peaks, you'll see snow, uh, you'll see clouds. The challenges are definitely different, and you have to face them differently on every mountain. But in caving, you never know what you're going to face next. So I'll tell you one story. There's this small passage in a cave called Thin Man Passage. So everyone in my group always called me, "Hey, Adwait, that passage is meant for you. You should go into that passage. Adwait, that passage is for you. You should go to that passage." So I am very much fine until and unless I have my helmet on and I can see straight with my head on the level. Once my ear touches the ground and ceiling, I I get very uncomfortable because you have to squeeze your head in the cave, which is exactly to your face size. So your ears are rubbing. One ear is rubbing on the ground, and one ear is rubbing on the ceiling, and that is very scary part. And sometimes, no matter how strong you are, no matter how mentally prepared you are to go into that place, no matter how dedicated you are, you get scared, and then you say, "No, this place is not for me. I am backing off." But now you're so deep into the cave, you cannot turn back. You either you have to push yourself back in the reverse mode, or you have to go further and find a place where you can turn. But yes, sometimes it's very difficult and very scary.
Yeah,
That
very challenging too, definitely. I would
yes,
like to know,
challenges.
did you come across any, cave creatures, any insects inside the caves, deep in the caves?
Yes, there are many insects in the cave. There are few spiders, uh, geckos. Then there are flying frogs,
Uh-huh.
which jump from the forest into cave. Then sometimes there are snakes, which came with a flush of water. When the rainy season comes, they get caught into river and then they flush into the cave and then they stay there for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
Then there is this one particular animal I want to talk about. It's called blind cavefish. It's a world largest blind cavefish found in 2019 in India. Uh, this fish is 30 centimeter or maybe more than that. It's the largest fish. It's the largest animal which is dwelling inside the cave. That fish lost its eye. The fishes don't have eyes. They have eyes, but they are like dormant eyes. They don't use the eyes. They are so new to humans, or maybe you can call humans are so new to that fish. When you go near water, your body heat attracts the fish,
Really?
and they are not scared of humans. They all come around you and they start biting you from here and there because they don't know what is human. Like they're
Okay.
so new to we are so new to them, and scientists are still finding what they eat, how they are surviving, how long they are there in the cave. So yes, and that fish is national cave animal of this year. uh,
Okay.
the cave fish of India, it's called blind cave fish.
Wonderful. They use fishes for doing pedicure, cleaning the toes. You go to some places, saloons, they make you put your feet inside and then they have fish nibbling the dead matter from your thing. Thank you very much, Advait. It was really wonderful listening to you. You know, you are an explorer, I think more an adventurer by spirit. And the way you started with fear, but how you grappled it and you came to terms with fear and came out stronger. for that. And what surprises me is that many of your colleagues are over 60 years of age. So I think there is no age. It's only a mental, as you say, we have to be strong mentally and have a bit of discipline, in our eating habits and maybe a little exercise. Then anyone can do anything in life. Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you again. God bless you, and you have a wonderful trip. Your next expedition, have a wonderful trip and come back with lots of stories for us. Thank you. Thank you very much.